girls, I'm gonna start this video out with straight up core, and then we'll get nice and deep in the pelvic floor with the breath, and then we'll move into more functional movement challenges, a yoga sequence, some squats, things like that, where you have to really use your breath and lift up through your core while you're moving. So it should feel good all the way around. I have a 5-pound weight. If you have a weight you wanna add into this, you could probably hold anywhere from 5 to 10 pounds, and it'll just sort of challenge the stability aspect from the inside. So if you have it, great. If you don't, no big deal. If you have Ballzy and you want to wear it, put it in. If you don't, that's fine too. This is all gonna work no matter what. Ballzy just provides that neuromuscular feedback so you can like really feel something to kind of hug up and in. So either way, go ahead and grab your weight. You can leave it next to you on the floor. And you're gonna have your legs out long, and we'll just take a big breath in. Arms up, exhale. As you blow the air out, you're gonna roll back to the floor. Take your arms out long for a moment, stretch all the way up through your body, and then go ahead and bring your arms down by your side. It's always just as important to be able to release your pelvic floor, inner core muscles, as it is to be able to contract them. And as you guys know, you can't get a good deep contraction unless you let go first. Just like any muscle, you can't live with something just taut and grippy. So use your breath here for a moment. Inhale, think about releasing all your pelvic floor muscles that attach side to side, front to back. Think about them like if they were a flower and you're trying to just bloom them open, not push, but sort of expand. I feel like a lot of times I would imagine you girls are so strong internally that if anything, when you let go, they may still be taut. So inhale, all the way down, release. Exhale, do another letting go. Just kind of cleanse the body of any gripping. And then on the next exhale, we're gonna move. So inhale to prepare. Exhale, blow that air out as you lift up into your pelvic floor and roll yourself up. You wanna really pay attention to these moves to make sure you're not chopping your breath off. We want like nice full breaths. So inhale again, exhale, roll yourself back. You're ironing out that spine with your core. Inhale, exhale, peel yourself up. The contraction pattern is pelvic floor, abs, and everything lifts you up and over. It's such a good, powerful way to move. As you're exhaling, make sure you're not crunching. You've got a little more lift, a capital C in your spine, but you're starting inside of you and rolling down. 2 more. Inhale, exhale, roll yourself up. You should have the sense that your abs are drawing in and hugging instead of pushing out. Another thing is we're so strong up here that a lot of times those overfire first and push the lower abs out. I want you guys to lighten up a little bit in the ribs, just a little, so that you can get up inside of you first and then wrap everything on top of that. Okay, here we go. One more. There's a lot of cueing and talking in this because I want you guys to be able to kind of understand mentally and connect into those muscles. So in case you need to rewire some of the breathing and patterning, there's a lot of explanation. Roll yourself back. All right, from here, I want you guys to bring, as you exhale, hug in, and you're gonna roll up to the forearms. We're gonna do a little stability challenge. Press your legs into the ground. Take your forearms, press them forward towards your feet, and draw in deeper. So you should feel that traction in your body. Without moving your pelvis, lift your left leg up, and then drop it down. Take a breath in, exhale, hug the ball up inside of you, hug your belly button in, lift your right leg up without moving your pelvis, and then drop it down. Every time you practice that stability, it's going to become a habit that applies to your sport. This time, again, pelvis still, left leg comes up, And then take another breath in, bring your brain into your core to stabilize, and take your right arm towards your left foot without shifting, dumping, any of that stuff. You want to be zipped up with your breath. Now drop that down. Take another breath in. Exhale to a count of 6. Hug the ball up inside of you. You want to get all this. Float the right leg up without shifting your body. Take your left hand to your right foot. Reach, reach, reach. Come up a little bit more. You should feel those abs heating up. And then drop it down. This time on your exhale, hug in. Take your right arm long. Can you do that without dumping? And then bring your right arm back. Let's reset. Press your forearms forward. Curl your tailbone between your legs. On the exhale, hug in. Take your left arm out. I feel like these are harder for some reason. Whew. And then bring that hand back. Okay, now both arms forward without those legs coming up, without gripping. Take a breath. Lift our arms up higher. Go back a little, up and in. Hug the ball. Don't let that breath get choppy. 3 more. And then roll yourself down. Take your arms over your head and just notice. It's so good if you're shaking and if you can let go of the upper abs a little bit in order to get the lower abs. All right, bring your hands behind your head. On the exhale, you're going to come up to the shoulder blades and then come down. We're just doing little series of 10 reps. So as you blow the air out, the pulley system is inside. You should come up high enough that you're shaking. Inhale as you go down. You're going to let your abs release a little bit as you come down. Exhale, roll up. Follow your breath all the way to your pelvic floor. Notice at the bottom of that exhale how much more you can hug from the inside. Let's do 2 more. Exhale, blow it all the way out. Hug up the back of your pelvic floor right here. Whew. Inhale as you go back. Again, exhale, blow it all the way out. Once you come up, notice your eyes are looking forward, not behind you or up. They're looking forward. Now hug up inside your butt. And then hug the middle, like where the ball is. Hug the ball up. Now maybe like the pee muscles more at the front, like the muscle that like helps you stop peeing if you needed to, up there. And then wrap up internally in your transverses. That should be hot. That should be heated up, you guys. Take your left knee up. Take your right knee up. Here we go. 10 on each side. Little bicycles here. So slow motion. This is 10 on each side, so it's 20 total. Follow your exhale all the way out as you stretch that leg and come up higher. See if you can notice your pelvic floor hugging up and in. So you girls can be on your own count on this. If we're off with each other, plus or minus, just finish 10 on each side. It's not about the speed. It's about how deep you can go on this and find those lower abs. Feel the back of the pelvic floor. I'm going to do 2 more on each side. Okay, now keep your hands behind your head, and then you're going to go ahead and we're going to do 10 of these. Roll up to the shoulder blades. See if you can pull the energy up from the inside, and you're going to curl your pelvis up 10 times. See if you can think about your femur bones lifting up out of your pelvis. So I'm talking while you guys are moving and counting to 10, but I really want your brain to be right down into the deepest part of your pelvis as you hug the ball and you lift up. Once you get to 10, curl your pelvis up and hold. Now, you're going to hold the position, but breathe into it. So inhale into your ribs. Exhale, blow the air all the way out. Hug up inside of you and curl your pelvis up more. Your hips are almost rolled up off the floor. Your sacrum's off the floor here. And you're going to take your left arm and bring it inside your left inner thigh and press. You're trying to pull that left inner thigh into that left arm. Curl the pelvis up more. Here we go. We're layering on. Take a breath in. Exhale. Rotate your right elbow, toward your left knee as you're pressing your arm into your inner thigh. Curl up more. Do 5 little pulses. 4, 3, 2, 1. Last thing. Cross your right ankle over your left ankle and press and resist. Let the left ankle push back. Lift up a little bit more. Last thing, take your right arm out behind you. 3, 2, 1. And then roll down. Whew. Okay, stretch your legs out long. Let's do the other side, and then we'll be done with the straight on ab sequence, and then we'll incorporate those muscles into movement. Take your arms over your head. Breathe. Inhale, release your inner abs for a moment here. Let's let them go so that we can get an even better contraction when we need it. Let them go, shake it out, and then use your next exhale at the bottom of that exhale to hug up and in. And here we go. We're coming up to the shoulder blades again. Go ahead and drag your knees up to tabletop. We're going back to 10 of these. So curl up and down. I want you to really try to hug the ball inside of you and curl up. And when you roll down, even though it's not very far, try not to just dump. Try to roll your pelvis down. You get eccentric abs. So on your count of 10, just so you're nice and even on this, you're gonna pause the movement at the top, but keep breathing. I'm gonna do 2 more. You finish your own 10. If you're waiting for me, great, you get extra credit. All right, roll your pelvis up. Here we go. Take your right arm inside that right inner thigh and press the right inner thigh into the arm. Like it's just, you're really trying to fire that adductor. Curl your butt off the floor. Rotate your left elbow towards your right knee. Breathe. Pulse. 5, 4, 3. Your head and shoulders and your hips are pulsing. Whew. Okay, hold there. Now cross your left ankle over your right ankle. Let's reset with your breath. Inhale, big. Exhale, curl up a little bit more as you squeeze into it. Final thing. Take your left arm out to the behind you. 3, 2, 1. And come down. All right. Let's go ahead and take your arms out to the side and just windshield wiper your legs so that you can kind of reset here. Just pay attention. What do you notice? Can you feel some of that connection up inside of you? That's what we're looking for. All right. Arms up in the air. Take a breath in. Blow the air out, all the way out as you roll yourself up. If you have your ball in and it starts to push out, you know you're holding your breath and pushing, and you want to rewire that so that you can lift up inside of you as you come up and over. All right, let's come on to the hands and the knees. And from here, I want you to just put your hands right under your shoulders, knees under hips, do a couple cat-cows, maybe 2 each way. So you're gonna lift up into cat, inhale, cow. I'm gonna have you guys curl your toes forward so you can stretch the bottom of your feet a little bit. Your feet have a lot to do with your pelvic floor and your jaw. That fascia is connected all the way down. So just shake it out and then come on up into downward facing dog. Pedal at your feet, let your head hang down. After that core work, it's nice to kind of shake out the head right and left. Lift your sits bones up. Think about your pelvic floor. Hug up inside of you as you drop your heels. Now keep your pelvis square and walk your hands back towards your feet. Come into a forward fold. Breathe. Roll yourself all the way up to standing. And then I want you to practice your stability move where you're standing on both feet. You're gonna stand on your left foot first, and when your right leg lifts up, try not to shift at all. Once you're standing there, I want you to lift up underneath your left butt cheek. See if you can, let's dig for a little bit more stability. So hug the back of the pelvic floor up. Yeah, and just notice. Relax your right hip. Now I want you to take your right hand and press into that right leg and curl your pelvis up more. That should fire your butt up a little bit more and make you lift up inside. That fascia, like you can almost, it's elastic or like taffy. You're stretching through your body. I think I like the elastic visual better. Okay, now from here, take your right hand and press it inside that right inner thigh. And see if you can let that leg like pull into that arm like we were on our back. Lift up a little bit higher. Take your left arm up in the air. Ooh, I'm losing my balance. Breathe, hug in, and then come down. Good. Take that right leg behind you, hands on your hips, and let's see if we can just come right into balance. So right into this warrior three. Hips are square. Press that right leg back like it's a fire hose. Fire the butt, lift up through the left leg. And then bring your hands all the way to the floor. You're gonna walk out to plank with that right foot, that right leg up in the air behind you. So in your best plank here, breathe, pull your belly button in, shoot yourself back into a one-legged downward dog, and let's spin it open. Just to get a quick stretch here. You can kind of relax inside your body in that pelvic floor. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Come back to center. Step your right foot forward. And let's come right up into a lunge. Right up into crescent. So zip up inside of you, all the way up through your core. And just notice. See if you can kind of feel that buoyancy. As you pull yourself down a little bit lower, think about like wrinkling the mat between your feet. And so that fires up that inner thigh, hamstring, and butt. And then hug that ball right up inside of you from the back of the pelvic floor. See if you can feel that stability as you come up on that right leg and drive the left knee forward. And then we'll come back. Let's see if you can just use your breath and feel how thinking about that pelvic floor brings that like nice stability as you stand up. I want you to feel the back of the pelvic floor and butt, and just feel your power when you're that stable. You don't have to stabilize by crunching and grinding. You can get long and connected, and then come on back and do a lunge here. And then from here, you're gonna go ahead and bring your hands back down to the floor, step back into plank, and then let's try this little challenge. Take your right toes and hook them like a V on top of your left heel. And then I want you to grab your weight, bring it nearby, and you're gonna see if you can stay stable, pull your abs in, and then take your left arm, woo, out to the side. This is really hard on the obliques, woo. So we're gonna work towards that one, but try it again. Come into your center, exhale, lift up. It's a huge fascia, muscle, breath, pelvic floor challenge. All right, drop the weight down, open up the feet, come back into plank, draw yourself all the way down, and then let's give your abs a quick stretch here. Come back down to the floor, push back on your hands and your knees. Let's try to put your weight right between your knees, and we'll play with plank for a moment here. You're going to exhale, lift up through your core, and then we're gonna dip the hips over to the right, and then lift up with your belly button and dip the hips over to the left. And you're just gonna go side to side 3 more times on each side. You guys count, and I'm gonna cue it up. And I want you to think about lifting the ball, if the ball's up inside of you, hugging it up towards the inside of your spine, and then sliding it over inside your left hip, and then lifting up and sliding it over to your right. So you're really driving and initiating this move from way behind your belly button and way up inside of you. When you're even on both sides, drop down to the knees. You can take the weight out. Leave the weight on the right side this time for our core challenge. Okay, drop back into child's pose for a moment, and then let's do the other side. Curl your toes forward, lift up into downward dog, shake out your head, pedal out your feet, spread your fingers wide, and press your hands into the floor. Drop your heels. Go ahead and walk your hands back to your feet without letting your hips move, if you can. Forward fold, roll yourself up to standing. Okay, so this time we're gonna stand on the right foot. So organize yourself here. Feel the energy from your feet, ground it down into the earth, all the way up through the top of your head without shifting. Follow your exhale all the way out. Hug that elevator of core up inside of you and lift your left leg up in the air. And as you do this, notice you're not just kind of lifting, sinking, and hoping. You're pressing into the right leg, feeling that right butt cheek fire and zipping up inside of you. Go ahead and press into the left leg. See if you can kind of lift the ball up inside of you. Feel it shake a little bit more with that extra pressure. And then take your left arm inside your left inner thigh and press. Like you're just trying to hug that arm in, and the arm is pressing back. Keep lifting up through the fascia in your body. Hug inside the standing butt cheek. You guys, make it all light up internally. Take your right arm up in the air. Everything is hugging into that midline. And then go ahead and release. Send the left leg back. Let's come into that warrior 3. That's standing one-legged. Hips are square. Squeeze that left butt cheek. Shoot that leg back behind you like it's shooting energy out of it, and then lengthen out of the top of the head. You're going to bring your hands down to the floor. Go ahead and walk them out into this kind of one-legged moment of a plank. You're going to push back into one-legged dog, and let's open up that left leg. And just see if you can kind of open your sits bones for a minute, like relax your pelvic floor for a sec while you stretch open. Breathe. Use your breath to reset. You're going to square out your pelvis, step your left foot forward into a lunge, and then come right on up into a lunge. Let's look at this position here. Instead of kind of pressing out and sort of dumping into it, see if you can try to wrinkle the mat between your feet. Activate the hamstring, activate that pelvic floor like that elevator up inside of you, and breathe. Just feel that sort of pliability and strength. And let's see if we can bring it into a little knee drive. Send it back. See if you can keep your brain focused on your core. Lift up through that pelvic floor. Sometimes I think we get distracted by the moving parts. See if you can stay right in your center. Inhale as you go back. Exhale. Practice gathering from the bottom of your pelvic floor and zipping up. Inhale, exhale. Pay attention to your breath. Notice if it gets short or if you hold your breath. Sometimes your balance goes away when you hold your breath. Inhale, exhale. And then go ahead and send that leg back. Bring your hands to the floor. Let's try the challenge again. So bring your left toes, make a V, hook them over your right heel this time. And your left hand is in the midline of your body. Go ahead and grab that weight. Keep your brain focused right into that left oblique. Hug that ball up inside of you and anchor it on the left side and try and bring that arm out to the side. Woo! That side's a little bit better. See what you guys think. And then go ahead and drop the hand down, drop the weight. Come down to your knees. Shake it out. Obviously, give it another try if you want. I think it's really interesting to load your body and then practice stabilizing with your breath from the inside. Okay, come into child's pose. Let's come up into downward dog again. Let your head shake out. Glide forward into plank. Draw your abs up and in. If that ball's up in there, hug it up in towards the inside of your spine. And then come all the way down to the floor. Inhale, stretch your core out. You can look over your left shoulder and then look over your right. All right. There you go. That is your core challenge and functional movement, just kind of trying to pay attention to how your breath is wired and how you're activating your core. Good job. Thanks for hopping on.